Hey guys, thank you guys for dropping by. Now if you guys were here last week, I kind of pulled a dirty move on you and I told you you're going to have to wait to see this cool finish that we do. Well, here we are, it's a week later and you are ready to see this finish. Now, if you've spent any time in the blacksmithing forums, you've talked about finishes, you've seen the BLO finish, which is boiled linseed oil. It's a traditional finish used by blacksmiths. Basically, you can buy boiled linseed oil by the gallon at Lowe's or your local Home Depot or wherever you shop. And it's really good stuff. But one of the things that they do is when you talk about that, they don't really tell you how to apply it. Now, of course, you can take it just raw like it is, take any piece of metal and paint it on there and give it some time to dry. It is very slow to dry, but it will make a nice clear coat dry on there. However, here in the shop, we do something a little bit different. We actually, for lack of a better term, season our ware. It turns it a lot darker color. It's basically the equivalent of doing seasoning on your cast iron, and I'm going to show you how to do that with our S-hook from last week. Now, in order to do this, you need to make sure that your piece is clean. You don't want to have a bunch of junk on there. And you're going to want to bring this up to about 450, 500 degrees. Now, how do you judge that? Well, you don't. It don't need to glow. And that's where we're going to start. So this is a little more art than science. But what you are going to need to do is get you a bowl, a cotton rag, and some boiled linseed oil. So we got our old pot here. And I'm going to take and pour just a little bit of boiled linseed oil into here. You don't need a whole lot. Now sometimes when you're applying the finish, a lot of people tend to cut their boiled linseed oil with mineral spirits. For doing this process, you do not want it cut. You want it full thickness just like this. And I'm going to take my rag and I'm kind of going to double it up. Now one of the things that we do is we actually, when we fold it up, sometimes we'll actually take a zip tie or some wire to make kind of a dabber, and that does not hurt anything. But all you want to do is dab it up just like this, soak it in. And let me heat the piece. Move this out of our way. I'm going to do this on top of the anvil so you can see all the hardcore action. Here we go. Now you want this hot enough so that the oil smokes but does not burn off. And what can happen here is you can see that even though I'm wiping it, it's not sticking. So that's actually too hot. But if you wait a second, it will cool down enough that you see it starting to stick now. Now this does make a lot of smoke, so wear the appropriate respiratory protection. But if you manage it, you're going to have this badass looking finish on your S-hook. Okay, there you can see one side, and you see it's taking on that nice dark finish where the oil is actually cooking and polymerizing into it. See my rag smoking a little bit? But that's fine. That's a good look. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to flip this piece around and I'm going to cook it over the fire. Again, you want to be careful when you reheat. Heating it up so that it smokes a little bit and speeds that drying process is fine, but you don't want to get so hot that you're going to burn it off. So be careful. Don't stick this completely down in the fire. Hover it about 2 or 3 inches off and just use the flames from your fire to warm it back up. This is really a process that you're going to have to tinker with. It's going to take you a couple of tries to get it right, but it's not like you can't start over and try it again. You're not going to hurt your metal by tinkering with this process. It does take a little bit longer. It's a little more involved than otherwise, but it makes a really nice finish and I like it a lot. So let's step back to the anvil and let's do the other side. A little more linseed oil here. Now, depending on how much of a hurry I'm in, most of the time when I wipe this down, I'll make sure that I'll kind of wipe it dry after I put everything on there. And then I will just simply hang this up to air cool. It gives it a little more time to polymerize, and it generally makes a better quality product. But of course, since we're in a hurry, what I'm going to do is go directly into the water. And you can do this without much problem. But sometimes it may it may take a little, if you've got some stuff puddled anywhere, it may make it fuzz up and make it white a little bit. So just be mindful, there's pros and cons to each solution. So let me quench this. And let's take a look. How pretty is that? And that is your final finish. Now again, that's a very different finish than if you just took the linseed oil itself and just brushed it and wiped it on there. I personally really enjoy this finish. I like to put this on all my stuff. It really kind of takes your stuff to the next level. So guys, here you are. Your hand forged S-hook with that very, very cool finish. Now, again, I love that finish. I love putting on just about anything that we do, especially our fire pokers. You can always wire brush and coat and have that silver look, and it really does have its place. But man, that look of that black iron that's sealed and coated is just pretty freaking awesome. So I like it. So guys, again, I hope you got a lot out of the show today. Thank you so very much. Make sure and tune in next week for our next show. And as always, like, subscribe, comment, whatever questions you have, you know I read them, put them in the bottom. Guys, I'll talk to you later. Be safe out there.